two, three.
Thought about this year. Grandma Hudson had two brothers, maybe more, but two I remember. And I've got their, when they died, I've got their family history. I kept all that. Telling when they were born, when they died, and because I was going to tear it out and, keep it to. But anyway, they lived in Worthington, Minnesota. They went up there and bought land. They owned sections of it. They were really rich. Well, anyway, the one, Grandma's brother, had a daughter, and she was interested in family history. So she came down here one year. They used to come through here every year going to San Antonio for winter. But she came down here and went to find all this. She wanted to join the Daughters of the American Revolution, and she did. She got all the information and she joined it. But so I'm sure that where she got it was from, one of the relatives. She was Grandma Hudson's brother's daughter.
Yeah, that's your grandmother Hudson.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I can remember when I was a little girl, they used to come through there. Uncle Jack, and I've forgotten, isn't that awful? Forgot her name. They used to come through every year going to San Antonio, Texas for the winter. And she had a fur coat. It looked like she just skinned a bear. And put it on. It was long down here, and woolly looking. And by the time she's the one that had, he was the one, he had a son that was in the Air Force. He was a general or something when he retired. He was at Wright Pat for a while. Maybe he was just a colonel, I don't know, or lieutenant. I think he was a colonel. He might have been a lieutenant general, I don't know. Anyway, he retired, and they were at Wright Pat for a while, so he invited your dad and me out for dinner, they did. Don't you remember when we did that, when they were, you wouldn't. Anyway, we went to dinner at their house, and he was retiring, then they were moving to San Antonio, Texas. That's where he retired.
I remember going out to Wright Pat.
So I don't know if you were invited or not.
I remember going out to a house on Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Okay, well that's where it was.
But I don't remember him at all.
Well, I don't either. I'll tell you the truth. All I remember was some food they had. They had the best. Beef roast. I assume it was probably the kind that's expensive and good, but you go out.
Chateaubriand?
No, it was just a big.
Or a filet, or.
It was in a big roast, like. Well, anyway, and they had rare, medium rare, and well done. And the way they did, they put them all in at different times. And I tell you, it was the best. I can remember that. The whole thing was so good. What do you do when Kim orders it all the time when he goes out? Anyway, roast beef, ribs or something. Rib roast, maybe.
Prime rib.
Prime rib.
But now, squirrel up on top of the garage roof. See him right up there at the peak?
Yeah.
But now, Grandmother Hudspeth was a Moore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Elvira Moore.
Elvira Moore. And she had two brothers.
Jim and
Jack.
Right.
So his last name had to be Moore.
And they're Moore.
So they were the ones that went to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay. And so Jack and his wife were the ones Jack Moore and his wife were the ones that came down.
Yeah, with the long fur coat off.
Okay. Now this.
And they're the ones that had this girl that was looking for, to look up to her relatives in the American Revolution, and she found it because she wanted to join the Daughters, But I can't think of her name. But her brother was the one I was telling, was Colonel
Was the
Dale Moore.
Dale Moore?
Mhm.
His name had to be Moore since.
Yeah. So that's about the best I can do on that.
So, and he was out at Wright Pat about 1950 something,
Yeah. I can't tell you.
because he would have retired. I went out there. I think I went out there before I got out of high school, and that was in '55. So it had to be somewhere between 50 and 55.
Yeah.
And then he went to Houston. No, went to San Antonio, which is reasonable since that's where the all Air Force military is.
Mhm. That's where he went. I'm just sorry. I wasn't that interested in keeping up with my relatives at the time because I had two that I put that. Come to think where they live. Oh, gee! Before I lost my memory,
Whose relatives were they?
Uncle Charlie's two boys.
They lived in Phoenix,
No,
Tucson.
Tucson, and they still do. They may still be living. I don't know, knowing how everybody lives forever.
What were their names?
Harry and UL. UL was a dentist, and Harry owned a drugstore. Then they moved to,
They would have been your age.
yeah, but a little older. UL was about a year older, something like that.
And that's-
Harry was a couple of years older.
And who was their father? That was Uncle Bill.
Wait a
Or
minute.
Uncle Charlie. Uncle Charlie must
Which
be
is
there.
Grandma husband. His dad's brother.
Yeah. Well, he had two.
My dad's brother.
Yeah, he had two brothers. There was Uncle Charlie
Uncle Bill.
and Uncle Bill. Who were
Uncle
you?
Charlie's the one that, one of his Harry, when they lived in Heron, you know, that little town of,
Yeah.
you know, Harry got tuberculosis. So they sold everything and moved to Dallas, to
Tucson.
Tucson. And they bought a house with a big screened-in porch, and that's where he lived. They had I think by that time he had just been married a short time,
Who had?
Harry. And Ethel was his wife's name, and she kind of helped take care of him until he got well, and he's still living. He came through Marion one time when I was down there for, I think Mother was already dead by then. So it's been that he came through and he was on his way to where they put that gambling place by New York.
Kirby's on the